Hello, welcome back to season 2, episode 1. I'd like to say we have a great weekend of football that's just happened. I'd like to say we've got loads of exciting talking points, but quite frankly, life sucks. So,
What suck?
What's going on with you guys? Go on.
How you think I'm going to be happy? You've just seen the performance we put in.
I'll tell you what.
Please.
Yeah, why don't we just talk?
Hello.
Scared of there. You think it's why you got the green? What's going on?
Just for context, guys, I'm gonna explain this. So last season,
Oh my god!
for those who
they
who
both
don't
think you
remember-
never walk alone.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Away from here.
But I'm gonna say this right. For context, last season we made a rule that if one of our rival clubs beat us, we have to wear the top. As you can see, Mr. Josh Hardman, has lived up to that. But Mr. Grant over there has bottled it because he's in his feels.
No, listen.
He's in his feels.
No,
What do you mean? What else
No,
would you call?
bottle-
You
not bottled it.
it.
I make the active decision not to wear it, and I'm
That's
fine with it.
bottling it.
Man wants to
Stop
give you a
bottling
different word for bottling.
Yeah.
Not bought it.
You
You didn't
bottled
go
it.
to the last year. You didn't go against Aston Villa, then make the active choice to lose. You just lost. That's bottling it.
Let's talk about last season, bro.
That's not the same thing.
Let's talk about last season. Man's want to talk
That's not
about
the
else
same
from
thing.
last
Do you know what I mean?
season. Fam, Liverpool came to your end and collected rent money, so we'll come to you in a second. But you, yeah, tell them what happened
That's
today.
not bottling.
Tell them what happened today.
Yeah, we lost. We lost.
But why aren't you wearing
But-
the Celtic top?
The fact that, I'm not surprised we lost, right? I'm not surprised we lost. And I'll tell you why, because that was coming. That is a culmination of absolute failure for every part of Rangers. Every part. There is 3 areas that we could say is at fault for that. Firstly, the owners. The owners are so much at fault. It is unbelievable. The mismanagement in Rangers is ridiculous. To give you some examples, it's not like we've not had potential to do it. We were selling players like Nathan Patterson for 14 million. Do you know what I mean? Calvin Bassey, 27, got to a European final, qualified for the Champions League. It's not like money wasn't there. We then spent it. Antonio Cholak, 3-4 million. Dessers, 5 million. We brought in Sam Lammers, 4 million, then sold him on for 2. What is the point? And it's just, we give shit people lots of money for no reason. So number one, the board. The lack of quality in this team is because of them. The second one is the lack of structure in today's game was because of the manager. The first 10 minutes, fine. Then the midfield disappeared. Then we lost our head. The structure went away. That's on the manager. And then the third one, James Tavernier not tracking back. Dessers looking like he doesn't have an ability to play football. His first touch is non-existent. That is a failure of the players. There is not one player I would put in our team into the Celtic team, and that is a concern. But we should never have been at this place. And the reason why I'm having such a hard time is I know they gave Philippe Coman a 4-year deal, not because they were backing him, because they know they're not going to see any success for him for the next 2-3 seasons. This is not a 1-season project. We are in for a very long year. Very long. Because we are so far off it. And it's because of shit decisions throughout the season after season. Steven Gerrard was allowed to walk because they wouldn't back him. He said, give me money, I'll win the next 2-3 league titles. They said no. He went to Aston Villa. Gone. In comes Van Bronckhorst. Gets to a European final. What do? They sell Glenn Kamara, get rid of...
Oh, on Van Bronckhorst as well. Super Cup final, Besiktas versus Galatasaray. First game, pumps him 5-0.
That's the point.
He was like, I need a striker to get Immobile from Lazio.
Chase out. Get rid of all these key players. Replace them with shit. And yeah, you could argue he chose those players, but didn't back him. He then gets sacked. Bring in Michael Beale. Fuck knows Michael Beale was doing. What does he? He then gets to spend 5 million, or I think 5 million on Cifuentes, who we've now sold for 1. We then brought in other dross players, and then they sack him. And it's like the mismanagement of Rangers Football Club is unbelievable. And now we're reaping the results of that. So am I surprised we lost today? Not particularly. Did I see that coming? Absolutely. And if you needed to see warning signs, look at Heartstraw, look at Dynamo Kiev, look at the games that we played up to this point. That was coming. That was a culmination of shit. Celtic sold 35 and spent 30. That's how a team should be
Can
run.
I ask, because you say it's the mismanagement of like the board or like across the board, and you're saying just buying shit, but is it the board buying these players or is it Philippe Clement buying these players?
No, I understand that, but for the players that we're saying, Philippe Clement's in charge now, and is bringing in players, but he can't spend anything. Like, he's not spending lots of money to bring in key players. He is bringing in what he is afforded to be able to bring in. And the reason we can't afford to bring anyone in is because the board made horrendous decisions beforehand. They didn't back Steven Gerrard when he asked for it. And yet they gave him Ryan Kent for 7 million. He then went and won a league. He then was on course to do well the very next season, was heading towards a League Cup final, was first in the league, had just beat Celtic in the Old Firm, turned round to the board and said, I need money in January, I need to add to the squad, we can build on this. And they said, no, if you want more money, go find another club. And he did.
Can I ask you, is it that Philippe Clement, I'm going to say, is it that Rangers Football Club haven't gave Philippe Clement enough money, or is it the fact that, you know, the players that you can attract, because this ain't me trying to be disrespectful, but it's more for the fact that it's like, you know, the Scottish Premier League obviously isn't the most elusive league. So it's like, is it the fact that they don't give him enough money, or
Why?
is it the fact that, you know, those are the only players that are wanting to come to Rangers?
Well, this is the thing. So Gerrard won the league, right? The next season. They then sell Nathan Patterson 14 million. So we've won the league title. Mm-hmm. We've got Nathan Patterson. That very next season, Van Bronckhorst. So Gerrard then leaves after the fact that we're first, we're doing well. He fails to qualify for the Champions League. But anyway, in comes Van Bronckhorst. Van Bronckhorst then gets us to a European final. So we then bagged the money for that. They then sell even more players. So Calvin Bassey goes 27 million. So we then bring in that money. We then, on the back of that, qualify for the Champions League, and we're spending like 3 million for Cholak. Like, that is the vast difference here. And the problem is, the board are too busy spending money on knocking down the club store to build this little museum outside the stadium. They're doing like an expansion to the stands, which, great. You know, there's complete value in adding more disability seats, having greater capacity within the stadium. All very worthwhile. But if the team's shit in the pitch, what's the point? If there's no money there, what's the point? We're spending millions to expand the stadium by 6,000 seats. What's the point? We're not winning anything.
And it's similar to you guys. The way I see it is, obviously all those points are like massive in terms of like what's going on behind the scenes, but obviously the build up to this game, like you said, it was coming. If we look at both teams, I could tell you what Celtic's style of play is. Like, because even Celtic, their transfer wasn't like the best. It's only because they had a good team, so they didn't have to like do much.
Well,
but
they
then
have
style of
spent
play.
30 million.
If I was to ask you now, what was your style of play? Could you tell me? Because we could say all the, you need to get players this, but you can bring in players, but if you've got no style of play, what's the point? What is the point? If you, we need to buy a striker, we're going to do this. What's your style of play? Because you bring that striker in, you've still got the same players that need to feed that striker.
I get
Dessers gets all the hate. I get that. Dessers gets the hate. But like we said before, he's going to end up with 20 goals in the season. Okay. The team, I'm like, what is the style of play?
I get
it's
it.
just go out here and
if
hope.
you were to look at like the Celtic game, for instance, like we had to nullify Celtic's midfield, and for the first 10 minutes, it was working. DeJohn Sterling sat on Callum McGregor. It was going well, right? We were the better team significantly within the first 10 minutes. The issue there is we didn't take the chances we got. Celtic then scored, and that was a warning shot. When Celtic put the ball in the back of the net 4 times. One of them got discounted. That should have been a warning shot when Kyogo got in behind that we needed to regain our structure. Instead, we collapsed. Now, whether that is a lack of tactical control from the manager, maybe. But the fact is that there's not even any fight within Rangers. You look at this team, there's no belief. James Tavernier isn't interested. Cyril Dessers is a joke. Jack Butland, I don't know where he was. At one point, he was marking his own post. And Kyogo could put it the other side. I would have scored that. He left 90% of it open. Like, what's your position in there?
Shot.
It's like, every player has forgotten how to do the ability. The structure's not there. And Philippe Clement needs to implement that. There is a catastrophic failure across every area. Do I think Philippe Clement's the right man for the job? I do. I do think he will do it. But the problem is, he's going to do it in 2 to 3 years. And that was never the thing. We had to do it now.
He doesn't know his best 11, I don't think. Because the first
How
game
shite
down,
players are, there is no best 11.
yeah, but the first game against Dynamo Kiev, you remember when it was like doing that 4-4-1-1 thing, and we're like, oh, this is class. He actually played well, like in ages. And then like, you playing Sterling, you're not playing Sterling. I'm like, Sterling is one of your better players. Drop Tav, like make a statement. Drop Tav that no one's droppable. And the same with you guys, drop Rashford. Like, start Philip. Come on, first thing you do is like, right, I'm dropping you, and then everyone's just there like, oh, that's our captain. Like, okay, cool. He means business.
James
that will start building in. You think James Tavernier performs like that in the Celtic team? You think he's playing next game?
James Tavernier should have been stripped to the captaincy before this season started.
You think he's playing next game? I've said this. I said Jack Butland should have been the captain. We had this conversation where James Tavernier, he's more of a, if he plays well, that's his leadership. Like, okay, we're looking at him as one of the guys that plays well for the team. In terms of captain, he ain't that. You don't see him shouting. You don't see him doing nothing. He's usually tracking back because Kyogo, Biedo, whoever's beating him every time. I've seen Barron, who's joined, 3 months now, 4 months? He's doing more shouting. Butland's screaming and he's in goal. Like, JT, you're not a captain. Stop it.
He's not. And he should be dropped, 100%. His performances aren't good enough. He doesn't show desire to do it. He shouldn't be in that team. He shouldn't be in the starting 11. I don't know what's going on. I think he is a good player. But the vast difference, like if you look at how Celtic's been managed and the way they've done things, like they will sell players for high value, high returns. Look at O'Reilly. They sold O'Reilly for almost 26 million?
It was even more than that, including add-ons.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then they spent 30 million. They just got 60 from Champions League. They haven't even touched that money. Their war chest is ridiculous because they've managed well, because the board spent well, because the board brought in good managers and then backed those managers, and then also built youth. They built players in that they could then sell on for a profit, and they have done. And that is the vast difference. Our board hasn't done that. Our board has squandered money, has wasted opportunities. They're more interested in us being a great venue for music events than they are winning titles. They would be happy as long as we challenge every single season, because then, at least we're doing something.
Early prediction. And I'm actually going to say the way it's going, based on how Celtic will start the season, I can see them doing another Invincible in the league.
Yeah, but they haven't conceded a goal yet. So
I generally can't see where they drop points.
But that's they're sitting building arenas stuff across from Ibrox. They're sitting expanding the stadium, but they're not investing in the team. This board is again more interested in us being able to host music events during summer than they are in us actually having a good team that's playable. Like, to them, it's like, oh, well, if we get a cup here and there and we challenge, then, that'll keep the fans happy and we'll just keep collecting money. It doesn't work like that. That's not how Rangers Football Club works. Celtic can't keep winning trebles. This has to stop. And the problem is, it's not going to stop for the next 2-3 years. So yes, the old firm was shit. Anyway, how was Man U v Liverpool?
Oh, do you want to start?
Even worse.
I mean, there's nowhere to really go in terms of trying to describe
Cute top.
what went wrong. This absolute monstrosity. That guy's not even hearing it.
But just say what it says on the top, mate. What does it say?
I'm so glad.
No.
Why are you adding to this?
Sorry, I don't know. I'm a United fan. I'm like...
At the start of the season, when we started, obviously making these signings, I was like, obviously, I don't think we're going to do anything special, but I was like, maybe top 4, maybe we might actually start to do something. And then, obviously, I've seen that performance today. Casemiro, Rashford as well. Rashford, honest to God, he was literally the only person who I feel like should have been brought off and wasn't. Obviously, he brought on Maguire, he brought on all the other people, but I don't know, it just feels like deja vu last season, just lackluster, no pressure, no intensity, no nothing.
He shot himself.
Do you feel like you've made the right transfers? Do you feel like, we got the summer right?
So I'll say this. I was really impressed by Ineos and how they've handled business. Early, getting Xerxes, getting players like De Ligt, getting players Mazzarari, we're getting players early in, and I was like, okay, this ain't United style. And then we were getting the right profile, and we weren't getting shagged. It's like, okay, so Brownfoy, they said something ridiculous, like 70 million. We were like, no chance. We still got Delit. 40. What was it? How much was he? Was it 40?
It was like 42.
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah,
Never
40.
really
So we're like, now we're not getting our pants pulled down. And I was like, fantastic. We're changing. We're not just like bending to clubs' wills where they're like, oh, United's coming, payday. Well, I was like, great. And then I was like, oh, fantastic. And then we're getting the right profile. Young, good positions. We needed a striker. We got a striker. We needed a midfielder. We got a midfielder in Ugarte. Fair enough, he wasn't playing today, but we got him. We needed a centre-back. We got Delit. And we're getting good players. Mazraoui. Euro as well. Centre-back as well.
To be fair, your pants did get pulled down a little bit for Euro.
Yeah, a little bit.
Last year left, leave it on the free. You're scared it's going to Madrid. And then Lille told him, if you don't go, you're not playing this season.
Yeah.
So then you got 60 M's.
Yeah, I mean, old habits die hard. We'll get our pants pulled down for one of the chances, but most of them were all right. But also, this might be controversial, right? But as bad as that beating was, if you looked at the first like maybe 15, 20 minutes, there was glimpses of like what we're trying to do. We had more possession, we had more touches than the oppositions have. I don't know what happened after that 15, 20 minutes. I know what you're gonna say. But I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want to be panicking again because I know United. Like 2 seasons before, we're getting pumped by Brighton 4-0 away. And then, we turned that season around. We finished third. We got a League Cup. So I'm like, it's early days. Brighton, not great. Today, not great. Even Fulham, the one that we won, we weren't good. But I'm like, this is the United story. We start off shit, but we can build on this. And I don't want to panic. I know a lot of United fans will be panicking, but I'm like, you know what? We're 3 games in. People can have 3 bad games, so I don't want to panic. The performances haven't been great, but we've brought in a lot of new players. They need to start clicking, and I just want to see where it's going. As much as the getting beat 3-0 at home is horrific to you, yeah, I'm like, it's 3 games.
The thing is, since Klopp's taken over Liverpool until now, the thing with Liverpool is, like you said, 15 minutes. But if you don't pack them away, it's a long day.
Yeah.
Football's not 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Once Liverpool warm up, it's crazy. I know what you're feeling. We did it when we went 2-0 up. Mm-hmm. Liverpool were quiet, and Xhaka squares up to Trent, and then boom, Liverpool just all over us, finished 2-2. Yeah. You got to pack them away. Another thing as well, what is your style of play? Like, Ten Hag keeps saying, I can't play the Ajax way, I'm not going to play as... Brother, okay,
but you're starting to see it now. Like, in the first 15, 20 minutes, we had 65% possession against Liverpool. We had more touches than the opposition have. So it's like high press, position, controlling play. Very much like the Pep way of playing. Where it's like,
so you guys, they can't just maintain it then?
So I guess my question...
Because it was 2-0 half time.
So listening to all those points, Josh, listen to the fact that... Do you agree that you got the transfers right? Do you agree with Amar that there is some sort of shape that was coming through? And thirdly, you said that you thought you would go top 4. Based on the last 3 games, where do you think you're going to end up?
So I'd probably say we got the majority of the right people. Xerxes, I know it's early, but I'm not too sure about that guy. But Højlund, we got, 2 more weeks and then he's back. But his injuries have been an issue with that one. But league position, I mean, if everything stays the way it is and, performances don't start to drastically change, I think we'll be lucky to get top 6.
How far in before Erik ten Hag looks to get... Because this is his 3rd season.
He's got Christmas.
That's why Ruud's there. That's the only reason Ruud van Nistelrooy is in your coaching team.
Is that not the wrong... Like, to have someone's replacement already employed before they even start the season?
Obviously, they wouldn't have told him, but then
I'm not saying they would tell them, but if everyone's saying that and they've all of a sudden brought Van Nistelrooy in...
saying that, but it is contingency planning. It's obviously...
But is that not the wrong message? You say, yeah, we'll back you, but here's your replacement.
No.
That's like getting married and saying, I do, but let me just keep my options open.
They did the same with Rangnick. When Rangnick came in, they were like, cool, you'll be manager, but then after this season...
Rangnick was never meant to be manager.
No, because they said, you'll manage here, and then after that season, just know you're just doing interim for now, because we're still bringing someone in. You're just here to steady the ship. You'll be our owner.
That was always the case. He was supposed to be
That's
director
still
of football.
No, it's
But
not.
they
It's
do-
not contingent. No, that was just the plan.
Yeah.
The plan is
Which
to have
Ten Hag's the reason why that plan didn't go because Ten Hag didn't agree with him.
What?
That's the search
But
it.
Ragnick made the choice not to take it. He looked at
You know,
what the
Ten-
recommendations.
no, Ten Hag and they
Yeah.
didn't like agree. They clashed heads. It's literally been reported. You can search this.
Anyway,
After
that's not
search it.
really
No, but
relevant
yeah,
to what
but
we're
I think
talking
what you're
about.
trying to say is that Rangnick was meant to be like sporting director.
Yeah.
But Ten Hag didn't want him to be sporting director. So
Yeah,
that's
they
not
clashed
contingent.
heads.
But yeah, but that's not contingent. But this situation is like there's no plan where Eric Ten Hag's meant to leave. Yeah, they've just brought in Ruud because they think right, he's going to be great. You know, he's going to be a great assistant manager. You know, he's a striker. We're like last season. We had like our worst scoring season in the Prem ever, or for like a really long time. It was in the Prem ever. So it's like, right, we need to get goals. He was a certified bagsman. He can do a lot of things. He won the league with PSV. I don't know how they've convinced him to
Did he
come
actually
in.
win the league? Oh, they win the cup.
I swear they won the league, didn't he?
No,
You,
I swear Feyenoord with Slot won the league. No,
So
What did he win? Was it the
I
cup?
think he won like their FA Cup or something. Like that.
I
think-
yeah.
With-
Well, he won a cup.
Yeah.
Wilfred Van Nistelrooy, do you think it's a tactical decision to support it, or do you think it's a fail-safe for Eric Ten Hag? What was that noise?
Difficult one, that.
I think it's maybe a mixture of a bit of both. I think it's probably a cheap route for the club in terms of replacing Ten Hag. It's not going to cost them too much because he's already there. You just kind of throw him in from Christmas till whenever and see what
I
happens.
don't think it'll be
But
a cheap route because you would have paid them to get him, and then you'll also still have to sack Ten Hag.
well, I mean,
So I think it'll equal the same
it's
money.
not like
either way.
we're saving money from the fact that we've pretty much sacked all the managers of the last however many years. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just going to be like obviously Ten Hag till Christmas, and then Ruud comes in till the summer, and then it's like a regurgitation again. But I don't know. At this point, it's like how much has he spent? Like 580, 600 million. So you're saying Philippe's not been backed. Eric's massively been back now. Like this is his third season. He's spent 600 mil. He's pretty much got that team. Not to how he necessarily fully wants it, but he's spent a lot of money on that team. So at what point are you going to turn around and say, right, is this guy the reason why we can't go forward? Like what I think you said it before about the style of play. Like what is our style of play? Because every time the centre halves get it, it's just like let's send it up to the players up front. We ain't got no height up front, so why are you sending it long? Like it just makes no sense. But I don't know. I'm not going to say Eric Ten Hag out because, like you say, it's been 3 games, but after that, it's not looking great.
I think you guys are
I have
also,
faith in him.
from my view, I think you're lucky that Bruno loves the club because he's a player that it'll get to a point he's just there like I could go bag
He
like
just
trophies somewhere big club.
He's
Like,
just signed a new deal on it.
yeah, that's what I mean. You're lucky that he loves the club because the way things are going, if he didn't sign, that would have been another headache. Like, oh crap, we're gonna lose Bruno. But you're lucky that he has that love for your club because,
Big talking point then of someone who was a high-statured player. Casemiro, a disaster today. Probably one of the biggest disasters he's had in quite a while, and he's had a few of them.
That's been coming for a while. That
What are we saying? Stand by him, get rid of him.
Ugarte come in, he goes to the bench. Done.
should have got rid.
Amor? 'Cause you were
yeah,
quite adamant he stayed.
Yeah, because I'm one for like, cool. He had a horrible season last season. He had a great first season, right?
Bro, we're 2 seasons past the first season. Stop
I know,
holding on to
I
that
know,
season.
I know. But I'm just there like, I feel like everyone deserves a second chance. So I wouldn't start him. I'm with you. Ugarte comes in, start him. But I still think like he's got something to offer the team. He's still got something to offer.
This is why
only
people like Maguire, people like
Lindelof,
McTominay, these why these guys stay for years. Cut him off.
Tim McTominay.
Cut him off.
Yeah, well, he's gone. But
He's got this is why he stayed longer than he should have. Cut him off.
those were key.
Off last season. I was upset that he left.
Actually, you should cash in on him.
But I think
You're
like,
nuts.
a key thing is like when you look at the game between you and Liverpool, right? Is Liverpool obviously went on to win 3-0. I suppose is a little bit relevant to Rangers Celtic, which I'll talk about in a second. But you guys, like Xerxes had 3 clear chances, which 2 of them he should have scored. Like one of them was a clear header, he hit straight at the keeper. Like that is an issue. Liverpool I wouldn't say Liverpool dominated you. I wouldn't say Liverpool played the best they ever played. You kept giving the ball away. Casemiro kept giving the ball away. He was a catastrophic failure in that position. Xerxes didn't take the chance. It's like the old firm between Celtic and Rangers. Like, Celtic played better than us, but we had 4 shots on target. They had 4 shots on target. The difference is we had Dessers up top. They had Kyogo. And Kyogo didn't score 3, obviously, but that is the quality is the difference. Do you know what I mean?
The fact they just worked harder as well, because Kyogo was tracking back.
But that's
all these players were tracking. Mieda tracking
that's
back.
not really relevant because we still had 4 chances. Like, they're tracking back, and I agree.
Overall,
I agree with what you're saying
chances, but overall,
in terms of James Tavernier. Like, got up at one point in the pitch and just jogged back, and you're like, that's your captain. No fight, no desire, no heart, nothing. So I agree with what you're saying, but Cyril Dessers.
That's a change of tune. Last year, JT was like
the GOAT.
Could do no wrong. You were just
He could do wrong defensively,
sucking on his teeth.
but the
I don't know.
So he could
Honestly, last year you were up JT's ass, and now this year, strip of his captaincy, drop him.
because
Bloody hell!
because
off 3
what
games.
James Tavernier gave us going forward was worth it. Do you know what I mean? He was worth the liabilities in defence, and he would still he wouldn't really track back, but like, it's so evident that he is not a leader. Like, I don't actually think there's any leaders in that Rangers team. I don't think there's a single leader in that team.
Maybe argue for Butland, but apart from that, no.
Like, I don't think there's a single leader in that entire squad. I actually don't even think Philippe Clement, like, when you compare him to Steven Gerrard, I know we're back on Rangers and Celtic, but when you compare him to Steven Gerrard would instill belief in players. He would give, even as like a fan, you would feel, but you'd see his reaction to things and you would feel better about it. Like, it would be a shit situation, but you could see he also understood it was a shit situation. I cannot hear in another interview, yeah, we're disappointed. No, you're not fucking disappointed, because if you were disappointed, it wouldn't keep happening, right? If you were disappointed, James Tavernier, right? Yeah, someone supercutted James Tavernier just saying, I'm disappointed, and it was about 3 minutes long. And that's probably the highlight, Leo, of his fucking career. I'm disappointed. Fuck off, James Tavernier. I'm disappointed.
James Tavernier has been exposed a lot more as well, because the goals and assists are drying up now. Now he's actually being a defender. You're like, hey, what's this fraudster doing? Because when he was crossing in, whipping balls in, scoring free kicks, life was sweet. And he was still the same defender he is today. But now the goals and that has gone, you're like, rah.
If you want a highlight of how poor quality Rangers is, look at Cal McGregor in the Euros. Look at how he performed. See, when he actually had to play against people of a reasonable quality, what was he?
I think I said it to you, he was like 133, 135, like, in terms of like midfielders.
Worst. He was one of the worst players in the Euros,
but he's a Ballon d'Or
period.
contender in the league, isn't it?
And he dominates Scottish football. That's how shit we are. Today, we were sitting talking about how someone had to sit on him because he runs the game. As soon as he gets any sort of quality around him, any sort of players against him, and you see at Celtic in the Champions League, get humiliated week in, week out, but they'll sit and come put 4 past us. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not going to say Celtic aren't a good team, because Celtic are a good team, and they did play well today, and as much as it pains me to say this, they deserved the 3-0. They did. They were better than us.
Some of the like passing and movement, I was like,
like when you watch Kyogo with the ball, like, they've got good players. Maeda, Hatati, like, they are good players in there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to deny that. But the fact is, when you look at players like Callum McGregor against actual talent, not our version of talent, which is usually either failed English players or players who are injury prone, when you actually against actual talent, you see the difference. You see that he looks like he doesn't know how to play football, and that's because he isn't good enough to be in that level. But none of Scottish football's good enough to be in that level. That's where we're at. Fuck knows how we got to a European final. I don't know. I actually can't tell you. Even on that run, if you were to ask me, I still can't tell you how we got there, because we didn't deserve it. We deserved it in terms of the way we played.
Because cups are easy.
I don't know how we did that. I have no idea how we did it.
It's because
we
cup
beat
runs are easy than leagues.
Borussia Dortmund with Jude Bellingham in it. I still don't know how we did it. John Lundstrom scored in the semi-final. John Lundstrom.
You need to stop holding on to this Dortmund win.
Because
you lost to Frankfurt. Let go of this Dortmund win.
He's literally just snatched you off your high horse. He's like,
how?
Come off.
Because
Also, just prove my point that cup runs are easy in the league, but that's another story for another day.
Well, why haven't you won a Champions League then?
Because we've not been in it. Because we've not qualified for it because the league was hard to get us to top 4.
What do you mean? You were in it last season, brother.
Well, we've not won a Champions League.
And
Last season, we just got to
beat
Champions
by
League.
Bayern Munich, who got finished third in the Bundesliga.
What do you mean? Yes, you have been in the. You've been in the Champions League numerous times. What are you talking about?
Last season, before last season, we lost the Champions League.
No, but yeah, okay, cool. It was
That's
6 years
so,
ago. but
exactly.
it was
That's
still
what I'm saying. He said we not won Champions League because we've not been in it for a while. We got into it last season. We won last season.
When's the last time you won a Europa League?
Huh? Anyway, go back to you, fam.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, wait. Why the way you top? No, hold on. Why the way you top?
What was it getting?
No, don't come to me.
Pumped by 4-0 by Chelsea in Baku. Was it Baku? I don't even know.
It was back.
It was Baku, yeah.
It was back.
And you want to sit and
4-0.
talk about cups and leagues?
I saw
Have some
AFTV
Have
go
some
mad.
respect,
Have some respect for yourself.
brother. You get paid more Carabao Cup for
You're
Scottish
making more of
Cup.
a fool of yourself than you
Am
are
I?
me.
Who bottled wearing the
Remind
top? Sorry,
yourself.
who bottled wearing the top? Sorry, you have no right to be talking right now.
I'm sorry, what?
Right before I get the videos of you crying in fucking shack saying, "I wear the top. I'm not gonna come and pod."
Release the
Put it on
video.
then. Put it on then, big man. No. Talk a big game. Put it on.
The fact is,
Put it on.
yeah,
Put it on. Put it on.
get that away from me.
Huh?
Anyway,
Right.
let's move on to Arsenal. Let's talk about it then. Right. Let's talk about let's talk about the 3 points you picked up this weekend.
Not lost a game in this league so far, though. So you know what I mean.
There's been 3 games.
Well, they've lost 2.
Oh yeah, I know.
So
Anyway, all right.
I'll say this though, right? Arsenal actually played better than it's Brighton. Sorry,
Brighton Munich. Apparently, that's the new name that
Brighton
they
Munich.
call themselves Brighton Munich. Fam. Them hands are moving crazy.
But yeah, that Declan Rice decision was. The thing is, by the letter of the law, it's correct.
Bro, do you know how bad it is? John Terry, who hates us, even commented saying, worst decision ever. John
that
Terry.
was a wild decision to send off there.
Tottenham, like the guy on TalkSport, James, I forgot his name.
Were you 1-0 up?
We 1-0 up, 49th minute, he gets sent off, and then obviously Brighton come into the game, score. It's like...
Do you... I know
See,
this is early.
Thomas Partey is doing what Casemiro's doing right now. Man's legs are gone. He needs to step aside. But obviously Moreno's injured.
I'm not gonna ask you if you're gonna win.
What
the
you
league.
take?
Yeah,
Thomas
because
Partey's done for you. Finished.
Yeah, fam, he's gone. We're clashing, bro.
You were quite a big advocate for him last season.
Yeah, but last season, when like I noticed whenever it's going well, it's going well. It's like the Xhaka thing. When we sold him, it was the perfect time to sell him. That one season he had, that's the only best season he's had for Arsenal.
That's it.
Apart from the fact that he played unbelievable in Leverkusen last season when they've done the double.
In that Leverkusen cracked team, yeah.
But
you don't
What, you
have a
say he
crack-
could have done that for you?
That one season he had for us, that was his best ever season in the league.
Yeah, but you
So
said
we
it was the right
cashed in.
time to cash. Like, as
Yeah,
if-
it was the right time
as
to
if-
cash.
No, but you making it sound like as if he's like falling off a cliff after he went. To
No, I say for
Leverkusen
us to cash in.
and done unbelievable.
Well, it is the right time to cash in because other clubs like you guys will probably give like a new 5-year deal.
I agree. That is points when you should cash in.
It was time to
Yeah,
move
but,
on.
But I understand there's points when you have to cash in. But how are you saying that was the right time to cash in?
It was because he had a great season. Before that, his value was nothing.
I know.
So when would be the right time to cash in?
No, I'm saying the right time to cash in is, this is my definition. You cash in when they've had a great season and then you can see there's going to be a decline. And then you're like, boom, get your money. And then they move on to the next team and they do dead.
He's had poor seasons, had a great season, we cashed in.
Wait, let me just kind of explain. Yeah. But he went to Leverkusen and arguably performed even better there.
That's for him. Fantastic. Happy for him.
Yeah. But,
So we did right. It worked for all parties.
Cash in is when they're about to decline. He didn't decline.
Not necessarily.
He ascended. So how is that
Not
the right time
necessarily.
to cash in?
That is the right time to cash in. He only had one good season for us, right? All the other seasons, he was one of our worst midfielders, always picking up cards and stuff like that. It's time to move
Yeah,
on.
but this is where I then.
You
then
go to,
wait,
yeah,
wait,
but,
wait,
okay,
wait.
he had a great season.
No, but this
Fantastic
is
to him.
no, but this
So
is where
it's still
then,
right
this is
to
where
cash
then
in.
I have to ask you this.
I think
question,
it'd be better to talk about Arsenal than it is about Thomas Partey's career. But where I pick up on, I guess, where are you feeling on this, Josh? Because Amar's suggesting he had a good season, went to Leverkusen, then had a
So
better
when on
season.
decline, wait, hold on.
No.
So you're keeping Casemiro even though he's clearly on the decline.
So we
I'm not
both
saying
just
that.
agreed
That's
to
not
move
saying
on from Thomas Partey's career, and then he decides to.
No,
wait, hold on.
I'm saying that like,
But
yeah, it would have been a great.
had a
time-
good
go on.
spot, then seemed to have done better. Erie thinks it's time to sell. Do you agree with that decision? Do you think that's the right thing for Arsenal?
I think at that point, obviously, the selling value is at its highest. And even if he does go on to do something somewhere else, that's not their business. That's not Arsenal's business. Like, just because he's on a decline doesn't mean the trajectory is just going to go down.
But
it can go down, come back up, and then go back down.
Contract situation was a bit like Gunder's, how like he wanted like 2 years and stuff, but apparently they didn't want to give him those many years, and he wants to move back because he's family anyway.
And then also,
So like,
I guess
it worked for all parties.
the next question for that, right, is you're talking about not wanting to give him 2 years, and I guess I suppose that's a board decision there to not want to give him 2 years. Looking at how Arsenal have played up to this point, looking at the transfers you've made in the summer, because I wouldn't say you've been particularly prolific in the transfer market in terms of who you've brought in.
You brought that.
Do you feel like everything that's there is enough to win the league? I'm not going to ask you whether you think you will win the league, but do you think it's enough to win the league?
Well, no, because City have a freak up top who is just can single-handedly win the league on his own. So I wanted us to go, like, obviously Tony's had those attitude problems. I still would have taken him.
So who's to blame for that? Is that Mikel Arteta for not setting his priority to be a striker, or is it the board?
Whoever sorts out all these sides, because I know Edu, our director, is the one that does most of like the dealing. So I don't know if it's he decides or if Arteta wants it. Arteta has a chat, but Eddie's the one that deals with it. Whoever decides it's all their fault. We should have got a striker. I don't know why we didn't. So I'm just praying to God a miracle happens and Havertz somehow just cracks on.
if he gets injured, it's game over for you.
Who?
Havertz. Obviously, like you've got Saka, but like
What's our top goal scorer this season? So
outside of Saka, if Havertz gets injured, like Jesus ain't that special coming into the mix. You just sold Eddie Nketiah. Reece Nelson's gone as well.
If we're talking
Reece
about
Nelson's already paid
selling Party, why have you not sold Jesus? Surely he is a player in decline.
Jesus,
I wouldn't say he's in decline.
I would say Jesus one. He's just been a lack of injuries
since he joined Arsenal.
He's been a lack of injuries, and
he just hasn't scored. He's actually a good player.
he's had
a
games
striker.
where
I know. It's mental, but he's one of these strikers where he plays very well but doesn't score
So why would you want to play that person then?
because he provides so much more.
Yeah,
a striker's role is not just to score goals. Remember, now he's laughing.
Yeah. No, it's to create goals.
I would
He
definitely.
isn't doing that either.
Yeah,
He is.
Yeah.
But then also, you two were the ones arguing.
He came on against Bayern Munich and turned the camera.
He's a good player, but he's not scoring goals. But you two were the ones arguing that a striker has to score goals to do their job. So he's not doing well.
in
He's
general,
well.
strikers have to score goals.
Yeah.
But there's exceptions.
But he's
No, he has to score. Strikers have to score.
no, he does have to score. I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm saying
He's just really unlucky with injuries. Like Jesus, when he
Jesus
first
is a
trained,
good player, man.
before he got injured, mum was cold.
Yeah.
And then the plan was, obviously, Arteta actually bought Havertz for midfield. That failed in midfield. The minute he moved up top, you could see Havertz starts as like 16 goals in like 17 games as a striker for Arsenal, right? Jesus, we were like, okay, cool. If Havertz is going to be the guy moving forward, because you can joke around, he's this and that, he's this, but he still does a job for us. Jesus was going to be like the backup to Saka if we didn't bring in. Obviously, we've got Sterling now, but then obviously Jesus injury, he's injured now, so it's like, ugh, we still got Trossard as emergency, but we should have got striker.
Man said emergency. Trossard
if you don't win the league this
Striker,
year,
not.
Okay.
if you don't win the league this year, well, is there pressure on Arteta, or is it end?
Pressure,
is it end the league? Is it end of him, or what?
Hold on,
Keep
hold
him
on,
for
hold on,
another year?
hold on.
How
I've got
long?
a question for everyone because I know who I'll bring in. If we get rid of Arteta, if you're in Arsenal's position, you get rid of Arteta, who you bringing in?
But
Because
no, I want to ask you though, do you get rid of him?
no, because there'll be pressure, but you gotta get rid of him.
Right.
bring
So
in?
if you fail to win
Bring
it
in
for a
Klopp.
third consecutive,
Klopp.
No.
Wait, hold on. How many seasons has he been? Is this his sixth?
No, it'll be his fourth.
Sixth, like full season will be.
No, it's not fourth because this is Ten
This is
Hag's third.
It'll be.
This will be his
sixth.
sixth
It's
season.
either fifth or sixth.
No, wait.
So
He joined
So
like
he-
halfway
yeah,
in
he-
first,
he
so
got
it'll be fifth full
eight.
one.
Did you get eighth twice?
you got eight twice.
Fifth,
Second.
Oh yes.
This is sixth season. So you would give him 7 seasons having not won the league in any of them.
Who you bringing in for Arteta? Because everyone always says you get rid of manager.
No.
No. Answer the question. Don't change it. Who you
The
bring?
only one who I would
because
say.
my
Who you bring?
question-
Because we did this.
No.
No, hold
Don't answer anything.
because we did this
We've
with Gareth
asked the
Southgate.
original
You get
question.
rid of Southgate. Who you bring? Like we said, you remember that time when I said who you bringing for Ten Hag? You're like,
Yeah.
no, get rid of manager because no one can answer you who to bring in. Like Arsenal, right?
That's
Apart
because
from
I've-
City,
I've
you
not
can all
drafted
agree
up.
we're second best to probably to go for the league. Who are you bringing in to then take us there? Because
Okay, I'll
whoever whoever we
answer
bring
your
in, we'll
question.
go back down.
I'll give you a question to answer because us three have not drafted up an emergency list of managers for your
So why is
football
it
club.
always get rid of Arteta?
The question was,
I'll answer
as
the
I've
question.
stated, if he's going on to 7 years without winning the league,
Pressure's
your
on.
only reason for keeping him is because you don't know who to replace him with.
Did you not hear what I said? I did not just say, I already know who I'm bringing in as manager. There's loads of managers out there that I'd love to
If
bring
you
in.
know you've got someone you would bring in, why would you keep him?
First of all, I'm not the board. This is what you asked me. Me personally, I love what Arteta's done. He's changed the club around. I'd still give him time. Like, end of the day, with that close, I don't want to see us go, or especially when you got Chelsea who over like spending crazy, City going nowhere soon. Liverpool today, you clearly see that they're going to be something crazy. Tottenham, I don't know what Andrew's doing. United, when it finally clicks, it'll click, right? So it gets to the point where, like, right, if we lose Arteta, these guys are going to either they're going to catch up quickly or we're going to be there like, what's going on? Like, that's the reason why if we fail this season, I believe he's getting a trophy. I don't know what trophy it is, but 100%, I'm saying this now on camera, you can clip it all you want, we're winning a trophy. I don't know what it is, we'll win a trophy.
If it's
Wait. Can I
if
say
it's-
something? I'm gonna hold you. In Shaq, you said, you know what? We're packing the Premier League. We're getting the Champions League. Are you still sticking to that?
What
Yeah.
did you say that?
2-1 against Madrid.
He said he's
Havertz and Saka.
He said Premier League game for us this season is champs.
Well,
Yay!
we don't need that.
You've
nonsense.
seen
your head.
what that robot's doing.
Let's not get distracted by these things.
We're getting distracted by these
If
things.
you were, if
Just know, Celtic
It was
played out
Eric-
3 times, right?
Eric
Top's
to-
coming out. Carry on.
why is that
Carry
relevant
on,
to what I
carry
just
on.
said? If
Sorry, carry on.
if Eric Ten Hag was
I just want Gerrard back.
7 seasons in, I do want Gerrard back. If Eric Ten Hag was 7 seasons in, hadn't won the league, but you were finishing second, and you finished second, say 3 times in a row, would you get rid of him?
I don't even think he would have got to 7 years.
But let's say he has.
Okay.
Depends what. Has he won anything else since then?
No, he's done exactly what Arteta's done. So he's won 1 FA Cup.
It's hard to say because how are we like the same as Arsenal?
Same as Arsenal. So you were 8th, 5th, 2nd. And we'll just say it's the same points each time, 1 second.
Depends on who's available.
Yeah, that's the issue. The market's so
Depends on
unknown.
who's available.
And it's fairly saturated at the
Yeah.
moment.
Well, you're confident you've got a replacement. Who is your replacement?
Alonso.
for him?
Huh?
Alonso.
Not Alonso. I'd only get Inzaghi from Inter Milan.
Really?
Yeah.
How long's he been there now? Has he been there for all their success over the last few years?
For Inters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got into the UCL final, won the league, won the Super Coppa. He's actually really good in cup competitions.
Can I
Like,
ask you a
he won with Lazio as well. If not him, the one other person I would have taken, right, and you can clearly see how he's playing now, is Hansi Flick. Like, I don't know how he was gone for so long after the Bayern Munich job, no one picked him up.
Well, he went to Germany and he flopped there.
Or Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann was the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, now.
But I'll say this, right? Right, let's say, for instance, Arteta's about to go. But let's say you could get Xavi Alonso. Would you take him?
Yeah.
You would.
If I knew Arteta was going.
Let's say this right now. If Alonso, in this magical scenario, just like leaves Leverkusen, and you know you could get him, but you have to sack Arteta now, are you doing it?
No.
Now.
No.
Sack him now. Not now, no.
Well, I'm asking him. You're
Now.
an Arsenal fan.
Now,
Yeah, I
no.
know, but I still know the
End
answer.
of
You're like, no.
End of the season, yes. Now, no. Reason for end of the season is, like we said at the start of the pod, Alonso's got to start to play. We've got more money than Leverkusen, so put those two together, he could cook.
Wait,
So I would.
you have more money, but you have a reluctance to spend any of it.
Oh, no, they haven't been reluctant in recent years.
Still don't have a striker.
Also, another thing as well is
Who can they get?
narrative. I get that obviously Arteta needs to try and go for the league, but then we all forget how cracked City are. Like, I've been speaking to Liverpool fans, and
Yeah.
Liverpool fans tell me,
I get
bro,
that.
I don't know
I get
how
that.
you like.
I hear that. but
I'll shamelessly support my club all the way, but
Liverpool still won one. That's the point. They still won it at some point. You have to win it at some point, or this is a waste of time.
it's not really a waste of time. But yeah, we'll still.
You won 1 FA Cup. This
Think
is a waste
Ferguson
of
could
time.
have give this Guardiola team. Do you reckon any of Ferguson's teams could have like challenged for the league? I know it's hard to say like decade.
I think
100%.
I think you'd be like what Klopp was. Because every time Fergie and Pep got together, Pep always had his number.
Had his number on us in the Champions
Yeah.
League.
No, but that's different. That Barca team.
But then
It's
with
ridiculous.
Fergie
Was
though, the difference
unbelievable.
between is Fergie, man management is like really, really good. So he can make Scott McTominay like top 5 in the Prem. Like he was winning leagues with Anderson and people like that.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, Danny, like you know what I mean. But then Pep, like he spends a lot, but he spends well.
But you can just tell that they're coached well. Like teams are managed and teams are coached.
Yeah,
but
but
they are
he's
coached well.
not that is so regimented. It's unreal. Like you do not step out of line. I want you to do this, and that's all you do.
Like you can tell he runs the training session.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's the face of everything. Like everything is just Guardiola.
Cancelo right now, you know that situation with City.
Yeah.
If he was like any of our clubs,
He'd still be there.
we'd still be hanging on to it.
Yeah.
Pep was like, "You're gone."
It's mad how many top class players that have
Bro,
gone to City.
Ibrahimovic don't like him.
Where I'm finding an issue here is, and kind of what you're saying and what we're talking about, right, is the fact is, Mikel Arteta is saying you like what he's instilling in the club, but there doesn't seem to be a winning mentality there. You've not won anything.
That's harsh.
He's not, like, to have a winning mentality, you have to win something. They've won one FA Cup
we do have
No, but
6 years ago.
But it's
And it wasn't even his team that won it.
Oh, this take's so stupid.
It's
not his team that. This is what I mean. Whenever the Emery and Arteta thing is so dumb. Emery had that exact same team and we were getting pumped by the Cities and the Chelseas. Arteta took over and beat them with the same team. So it is. I don't care. Oh, it was Arteta's team. Arteta still had to train him and get him to win that FA Cup.
Fine.
Emery had that team. We went on a 22-game run, finished 8th to 8th. That's what we did.
unbeaten run.
Are you done?
I beat run.
Right.
Yeah, but then it's not.
Let me
his team.
carry on. So they've won one FA Cup, and we're talking about. You're saying you're happy with the mentalities instilled. What success have you got from it? Nothing. You've not won a League Cup. You've not won another FA Cup. You didn't do well in the Champions League. You've lost the league time and time again to a Man City team where some points you've been almost as much as 7 points ahead. How is that a winning mentality?
Well, last season it was clear, obvious that obviously the Villa games fucked us over. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry
exactly.
to
So
swear.
again,
My
a lack
parents
of
watched
winning
the pod.
mentality.
I saw my parents watch the pod. Anyway, that was bad. Okay, but then there's other things as well. Like, let's be honest. If you're looking at the big six, right, and look at all the results that's happened in the past, Arsenal have been at the back of some heavy floggings. Like the 8-2s, the 6-0s, the 5-0s, the 6-3s, the 6s.
Who was that to
And
again?
something like that. Yeah, the one where City won the league, yeah.
You're a
Last
bastard.
season, the reason why I'm still holding on to hope is like last season, right? We were undefeated against all top 6. Okay? We lost the league by what was it? 2 points? 1 point?
Yeah, 2 points.
2 points.
On the last day, it's harsh.
Right. I can't get rid of the man for 2 points. I'm like, right, this has to be the one. And then if not, end of the season, then we have to start looking what's going on.
So
And then the reason why we get pumped in money as well is because obviously our owners, all their other clubs that they own, they've all won championships.
your moment of, I guess I'll ask you this, Josh. Their moment. So listen to what you were saying, right? And what I'm hearing is you went from the point of being dismantled by teams that you're 6-2, stuff like that, right? They're now not losing like that. However, there are still slip-ups. Would you see that still as a winning mentality because those heavy losses aren't happening anymore?
We got pumped by
Are
Villa
you
last
Josh?
season. And we
You
beat
Josh
them this season.
Hardman. No, you're not.
Because he knows I
Josh.
can answer it, that's why.
No, I'll come back to your
Josh is
your
talking.
trouble
Josh is
in a
talking.
minute.
Wear your sock shirt.
Where's your Champions League winners medal?
Oh, why is
Your
going to
Europa
Champions
League
League?
winners medal?
Who played today?
Where's your
Was it us or
Premier
yous?
League winners medal?
Children.
Was it us or yours?
Behave. All right, let Josh out.
Man's getting pumped to the two.
Where's any winners medal in the last 5
two-man
years?
league.
Yeah, keep chatting.
Keep chatting.
Go on.
Oh, JT's my good. I want Gerrard back, man.
Oh, Mikel Arteta, don't win anything. It's fine. I'll still
Mikel-
support you.
I was gonna come
Carry on.
Bro,
Yo,
you asked
3-0.
Josh a question.
Yeah,
Let
go.
him answer.
This guy was-
You lot can have your
David
spot,
Tolland, when you're watching this, right? Screenshot the messages we've been talking about. Craig, thank you. Carry on.
Okay, you can't talk about your own club.
Carry on.
Go.
I feel like they have obviously come a long way in the however many years that it is that he's been in charge, like especially the last 2 seasons they've challenged for the league. But I do agree that there is something missing in the sense of getting over the line. The Aston Villa home and away is the two there where you've obviously let games go. Obviously you can't go undefeated and win every single game, but in the latter stages of the season, you have to have that gut, that fight, that something to hang on just to be able to get yourself over the line. I get that you're playing against a beast in Man City, and I get that you're playing against one of the best sides the Premier League's ever seen, but I just don't know how long this time is that you would give Arteta. So let's say this is season 6, next season again, season 7, like how many is the right time for you to say, you know what, he has to go.
But I think this is the stark difference between where Arsenal is and where Liverpool were, because Liverpool, even when they weren't winning the league, were winning Champions Leagues. Even when they weren't winning that, they were doing doubles. There was a winning mentality there. So even when Man City was the beast that was Man City and they were doing these things, Liverpool were still very successful.
Can I just say one thing as well?
Arsenal aren't that.
Yeah, Liverpool were that. Who was Liverpool's manager?
Klopp.
Yeah, exactly.
The same Klopp that was winning league titles against Pep in Bundesliga.
But you're saying
Arteta's,
he never won.
he won it. Okay, sorry. Before was it before Pep joined?
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was-
before Pep.
He won league titles. He's won stuff like Arteta. This is, you got to remember, this is his first big job as well. Okay,
It's
Like,
like-
that as an excuse.
Yeah.
oh, I cannot use that as an
That's
excuse.
horrible.
What's he done before?
He's
What's he done
6
before?
seasons in.
He's horrible.
6 seasons in,
And he's won
We've
one
had
trophy.
managers in the league that managed all their lives and never seen top 10.
But you're saying he's installed a
Yeah,
winning
but you're-
mentality.
yeah, but he-
I'm
Yes, because
showing
has
you.
installed a mentality.
I'm telling you what a winning mentality looks like.
Last
even
season,
despite
you
City
spoke
being
you
there.
spoke about there's something we need to hold on last season. You look at our track record last season, the 2024 only lost one game. It was the games against the
And
Villa,
that-
Christmas and the West Hams.
That is the
That's
point.
the thing.
That is
Exactly.
a lack of winning
Which
mentality.
we're trying
you
to do right
couldn't
now.
get the job
The
done.
first obstacle we've overcome was when we played Villa away. Everyone was like, okay, against Emre, this is where Arsenal fumbled. We packed him 2-0. Okay, that's surely like, okay, cool, right. Arteta, we can clearly see we've done it now. We've overcome the obstacle. Let's keep on moving. That Brighton game, I'm 100% confident we will won that. Obviously, the red card affected the game. But as for that, I'm like, okay, we're in the right step. Let's just keep moving. Okay.
Let's not forget that Arsenal also got the most Premier League points they've ever got last season, but they just didn't win it because City are that much of a monster. So there's been like, I actually agree with you, because every season there's been progression. It's been progression in a major way. Like to have that many points and not win it is because obviously
My fear is we get rid of Arteta, whoever's coming in, we'll drop back to the rest of the pack.
That's where my
But then Chelsea's going to click soon. Let's be honest.
Are they?
Chelsea, regardless of what we want to banter with, you guys will. I don't know when you guys will click soon, but Chelsea.
You
will
reckon
click
Chelsea's going to click before us?
soon. Huh? I don't know who's clicking first, but you guys will.
well, I mean, they did finish
out of the
ahead,
top
don't you, last
six,
season.
out of the top
Yeah,
six, you like to
I
think.
wouldn't say anything after what you said last season.
Yeah, but after
say this, we're
with the top
finishing
six,
above
you like to think. You like to
Doing
think
that.
most of the clubs.
This
will
Chelsea
come
team
up.
is bollocks. Honestly, they just buy players like it's like flipping Monopoly. Oh, we'll buy Mayfair, we'll buy this. No.
Yeah, and
Why are you buying this?
And somewhere in there is a good team.
Yeah,
Just
what,
try,
after what?
they'll just play a 30, 40 different formations. Eventually they'll
They're
find
like,
one.
they're human trafficking at this point.
It's a absolute Rubik's Cube of a football team.
yeah,
Isn't it?
it's mental. what they do.
Last 5 minutes, obviously European draws. Thoughts on new format?
No, I'm not going to... Hold on. Last point, and then we can do that. You said it's a winning mentality because we're getting closer and
Sounds
it's
like
this,
again.
right? No, because you have to win something. Jurgen Klopp was doing the exact same thing. It was the most points Liverpool had ever got and didn't win the league.
Yeah.
Right? Fine. But they were winning other trophies. Arteta is not. That is not a winning mentality. That's it.
Okay, cool. Like I said, we're going to win something this season. End of season, we don't. Then
Okay,
there'll be
cool.
questions.
And if, when you
That's what
don't,
bothers you.
I want to
What did
hear
I
you say no winning mentality.
Okay, cool. And then when Celtic flipping treble your league again, then we'll
And
get to
then
this.
I will repeat what I said today. There's no mentality in with those players. I've already said that.
If he finishes third, do you think he'll get sacked with no trophies?
Here we go.
Come on. Yeah, he has.
No. Arteta.
Come on, won't get sacked.
But then one thing I'm happy about though is, say we finish, like you said, finish with no trophies. Based on what he took over, we'll be like an attractive club for. We could get a suitor in terms of compared to what we were dealing with before. I think
The Arsenal glasses
on.
are firmly
Right,
on
guys.
here, right?
you know what I mean.
I know
It's true, though.
we've got like 4 minutes, so I want to do.
Go
So
on.
you said new format of the Champions
I like
League
the
and
new
UEFA.
format. I like it.
Yeah, and then also I want to do is like I want you to pick who you think is going to win the Premier League, top 4, relegations, and like dark horse to like do something.
But I would just do one of them because you just did about two,
That
three
was a lot
different
of
things.
things.
Like, why don't you just focus on the league for now? Because we've not spoke about European format so far. So
Oh, I'd love to talk about the Europa League though and the Champions League.
you've only got 4 minutes.
For half an hour,
Okay.
mate.
Are we going to talk about the fact that you're in a group with us, big boy?
Yeah,
Hey!
I would say it does feel like we're in a bit of a death group, to be honest. Like
Tottenham as well.
every game is a challenge
For you or them.
Huh?
for us.
Behaviours.
Although based on how
we went to Murray.
based on how
You saw what happened.
based on how much possession you gave away today, man, I think Dessa's going to have at least 14 chances.
And put
so
away none
so
of
you'll
them.
score one.
At least now they're not playing against ambulance teams now. It's enjoy
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I like the format. I like the increase in games. I like the fact that it kind of defeats the point in pots though, because you play 2 pot 1 teams anyway, so it's like that makes no difference. Do you know what I mean? But are you happy with your draw?
I'm happy with you lot.
Yeah.
Is your manager going to be there for the
Are
draw?
you happy with your draw?
I am.
Is Tenor going to be there for the draw?
Yeah, he'll be there.
Ain't you playing in Jan?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Jan,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be there by December.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Listen,
Toss of a coin.
listen. When we're the reason Ten Hag gets sacked, you're welcome.
Right, can we I know I said a lot of things, but it's real quick. Like, right, who do you reckon is going to win the Prem?
Man City.
City.
So,
Liverpool. Second, top 4.
Man City. Arsenal. Liverpool. I would have said you, but you've been shit. So Brighton.
Brighton.
That's his whole soul.
Yeah, go on.
City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
yeah, same.
Chelsea will clip.
Same as that.
I'm going City, Arsenal, Man United.
Third.
Man U.
No,
third.
this is just thinking just generally.
Oh, you think they'll be fourth?
And then I'm gonna say Aston Villa.
Chelsea.
Did you think Man U are going to be third or fourth?
You're not going third. Come on.
Will be 4th.
Okay. You'll be.
And then relegation.
Yeah,
guys.
you'll be 6th to 8th, but that's fine.
And then relegation.
Yeah.
I think Ipswich, Everton. I think Wolves could be in danger.
Everton are so shit, but keep staying up.
But like,
That bomb-
You see that Bournemouth
Yeah.
game?
I said Wolves.
We've got 1 minute left.
1
so
minute gone.
Winner.
Winner what?
No,
Sorry,
relegation.
top 4. He's not done his top 4.
I've done top 4.
Oh, have you?
Relegation.
Oh,
It's
okay.
relegation.
Southampton, Leicester to get the points, and I think Ipswich might escape out for Everton if they get point deduction as well.
Oh shit,
I
I
just-
that Leicester.
I think I would prefer Ipswich to stay up. I think Ipswich should stay up, but I just can't see Everton going down. So I'm going to put Ipswich in the relegation. But I'll agree with you for the rest.
I'm going to
Okay.
Ipswich, Everton, and then not Leicester, but
Southampton, bro.
Southampton.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Well, let us know what you think your top 4 will look like. Who you think will be in relegation, and do you think Arsenal have a winning mentality? See you next week.
Should clubs wear flipping tops as well?
Should clubs wear tops?
Should Craig wear the Celtic
I
top?
very much encourage clubs to wear tops.
Cheers, guys. I don't know why I'm looking this way.